So good evening, everyone. Welcome to the International Short-Term Training Program on Developing Personality Improvement Skills through Soft Skills. And today, I think we are on the sixth day. So as Muskan is not here, we'll be starting directly. Sir, can you please present the slides? Okay. The topic that we are going to cover today is building positive workplace relationships. So this is a very important topic, and because we are towards the end of thank you, Sridhar sir, for switching on your camera. And I request if you all have good bandwidth because we'll be having interaction right at the start. Thank you, Dr. Benita ma'am. I really like your responses. Miss Siddhi, thank you so much. If possible, keep your cameras on because we'll be having interaction right at the start for the workshop tempo to be built on. So, as we are talking about building workplace relationships and that too positive, this because we are towards the end of the session, this is important, and here is the place where you can utilize effectively all the skills that we have covered in session 1, session 2, and even part 1, part 2. So this is an amalgamation of all the skills that we have been talking about. So I expect you all to participate and make this session an interactive one. So can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, here is a scene. I want you to look into the picture and tell me what do you see? Any one thing that you see very prominently or what strikes you? Anyone, you can either unmute or drop it in the chat box, whatever feels better. If you want us to unmute you, please let us know. Yes, what is very prominent in the picture? One thing that you can spot easily. क्या दिख रहा है? कैसा workplace है? See, we are talking about workplace. What do you think? What kind of workplace is this? What is happening? Okay. Fun loving is what Dr. Neetu states. Okay. Tantrum. Okay. Prem Gupta sir, would you want to say why tantrum? Sir, please unmute. Okay,
Hello,
from
ma'am.
Miss Siddhi. Okay, yes.
Ma'am, it's Sunka. Actually, ma'am, oh yes, ma'am. Actually, this is a scene where employees are feeling like a happy. They are not stressed. They are given the freedom. Like for we get stressed when we work for much more time. But this is a office I can see where freedom is given. You can do work as well as the fun, where the mentality stress won't be there, and they are enjoying much more by anyways for a little bit time. There are many people who are happy because of this. Some are
But
playing games.
Onkar, okay, thank you for sharing. But I also want you to look into their expressions. When we give
Yes.
you a picture, no, I will also read the messages given in the chat box. I really appreciate your sharing. But also now look into detail. Are they happy, smiling faces?
Uh, I could say 95% because
Right.
lady near the computer in second desk, she's like
Okay.
somewhere sad and but another people's those who are playing or like laughing, they're enjoying. Means they are like feeling more happy. But the where the horse, a guy who is beating to the horse, so beside the lady who is near the desk, she is like a little bit sad because of her expressions.
Okay, thank you for sharing. So I will read the comments. Dr. Neetu has written fun loving, Prem Gupta sir has written tantrum, and Miss Siddhi has written all employees are enjoying their work. Miss Forum Patel has written two scenes, one group enjoying at work and their work, and another who is seen burdened and exhausted. Dr. V. Gokulacharyan has written lack of coordination. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name by any chance. Dr. MVK has written everything is done except work under democratic environment by misusing their benefits. Dr. Sarita has written feeling joy. Okay. Uh, Sir, can you please unmute Prem Gupta, sir? And I really would appreciate if Miss Forum is wanting to express what she means by this. And Dr. MVK, before we proceed further, if you are comfortable, please raise your hands for sir to unmute you. We would like to hear your perspective also. Yes, Prem, sir.
I mentioned here tantrum because they are doing that thing in the workplace. They would have selected some place to play. They would have visited some recreational park or garden nearby where they would have enjoyed in an open atmosphere. Because the workplace is a very occupied place where you can't play, you are having the chances of damaging the office components. I would like to say in that way, ma'am. So I am just saying that there is a tantrum thrown in the office. So that was my view of seeing it.
Okay, fair enough, sir. Fair enough. We all have different perspectives. I request sir to go on the next slide. And now I'm going to give you a different dimension. Thank you, Netaji, sir, for switching on your camera. Jyoti, ma'am, thank you so much. Sir, can you please go to the next slide? Okay, now there is a change in your scenario. What do you see here? What is the observation? Pay very attention to facial expressions. We have spoken about communication in our first training. We have spoken about non-verbal communication. So look into the faces, look at the body posture. We have been talking about it. The entire training is about that minute observation. How do the people look here? What is your observation in this picture? What is happening? New responses also. Dr. MVK, would you want to share, sir?
Actually, the slide is not visible to me. That's why I'm clicking here and there. Once I get into the picture and view the scene, I will share my feedback.
Surely, sure, surely. Anyone else who would want to give their input about what they see in the picture? Yes,
May I?
Miss Puram. Ma'am, can I know your actual name? Is that how we pronounce it?
Is that me that you want to talk to?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Hey, hi. This is Forum. People used to pronounce my name as Forum.
Okay.
Well, so far as this picture is concerned, we can see that every one of them are not so comfortable when they receive the ideas on the table. The man standing between these two females, the short, soft expressions that he's having seems that he's not comfortable and very open and taking up the suggestions or any feedback or discussion coming his way probably, or might be little surprised or shocked. We can say there is a slight difference between shock and surprise, but I'll use the word surprise when maybe something is coming up his way, particularly from other colleagues, regardless of their gender, I guess.
Okay, that's a good observation. I would also want to read the comments that we have got. It's
Sure,
like
go ahead. Thank you.
I guess to team with difference of opinion. Okay, Dr. Neetu. Dr. Surender states that keeping participants engaged on particular tasks. And Dr. MVK says it looks like a good working environment. Okay. So anyone? Okay, Prem sir, you want to say something? Your hand is
Yes,
raised.
ma'am. I would like to add upon to it that there is a coordination. All the members are communicating with each other, and all are well free to speak to irrespective of their position or the status.
Okay.
That is what I would like to add.
Good suggestion. Good observation. Yes, Onkar, you want to say something, beta?
Yes, ma'am. Where we can see like one person who is trying to share like presentation over how we can improve or how it is improved and we can improve more. So he is going with ahead with the presentation, but the man who is stood in the, which we can say who stands between two the ladies, he saw that one of the lady is like in his old in her old dream or like saying something because of some positions, so he's like angry or some like surprised because of this, and this two sides are like this both are like trying to pay attention. One has paid attention, but I think so another lady is trying to pay attention because of a side disturbance. She is trying to check out what the presentation man wants to say. So I think so that.
Okay, great observation. Dr. V. Gokulacharya has written good guidance and also better participation. Okay, yes, Mamta ma'am.
यस मैम, मुझे लग रहा है इन सभी के ऊपर कुछ साइन बना हुआ है, लाइक एज एक टाइम बन रहा है, एक के ऊपर सेटिंग है, एक के ऊपर बल्ब जल रहा है, एक के ऊपर क्वेश्चन मार्क्स हैं, उधर वो डॉलर साइन है। तो ये सब उसी प्रकार से आइडियाज दे रहे हैं जैसे कि उनके ऊपर बना हुआ है। वो एक आइडिया दे रहा है जिसके ऊपर बल्ब बना हुआ है, जिसके पास क्वेश्चन मार्क है, उसके पास बहुत सारी क्वेरी है, और ये जो सेंटर में बैठी है जिसके ऊपर सेटिंग साइन है, वो हर चीज को सेट कर रही है। देन वो टाइम मैनेजमेंट का बता रहा है जिसके ऊपर टाइम बना हुआ है। देन वो, और ये जिसके ऊपर डॉलर साइन है, वो पैसों के लिए बता रही है कि कैसे हम कम पैसों में हम बहुत सारी चीजें कर सकते हैं। तो यहाँ पर टाइम, मनी एंड बहुत सारी क्वेरीज, देन उसको सेट वो कर रही है जो मीडियम में बैठी है, आइडियाज वो दे रहा है अकॉर्डिंग टू मी।
Excellent observation, Mamta ma'am. Very good. And it is an excellent observation, but I'll talk about all your observations in the next slide. Sir, can we go to the next slide, please? अब बहुत सिंपल क्वेश्चन है और आप सबको इसका रिप्लाई चैट बॉक्स में देना है। आप कौन सा वर्क प्लेस चूज करेंगे? सर, नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज। I'll show you both the workplaces now. Sir, can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah. So, first या second, please drop your message in the chat box. और आपकी एक वजह चाहिए, रविंद्र सर. I'm looking forward for your participation, sir. Yes. So, which workplace will you choose and why? Which workplace will you choose and why? If you're comfortable speaking, please raise your hands. If you're comfortable typing it in the chat box, you can do that. Whatever suits you. We are happy with your responses. Sir, the ones who have raised the hands, please unmute them for them to share their responses. Yes, which workplace will you choose and why? Prem Gupta sir is written second. What about others? First one, because work with fun. Okay. Okay. Second, to have a good organizational experience. All right. Jyoti ma'am has written second. But you also need to write why. अगर आपको एक शब्द में भी लिखना हो, आप लिख सकते हैं, या आपको बोलना हो तो आप बोल सकते हैं. You need to tell me why you want that. Why did you like that? Okay, Ravindra sir has written, it gives you instant energy. Guys, you can raise your hand and sir will unmute you. I need both with different situations. Okay, Dr. Neetu. Left hand, enjoy your work. Okay. Second one, because it's in second, everything is organized in good working environment. Okay. Sir, can you please unmute the participants who have raised the hands? Yes, Prem
Yeah,
sir.
Ma'am, I will prefer the second one because here everybody has got their work
लोअर कर,
related
बंद
to
करो ना.
finance or related to time management or related to creativity or related to the processing of the work task given to them. So I would be one of part of those and one element of that and create a better atmosphere in the workplace by completing my task. That is what I would like to say. And the fun I can have after my office time or by taking break in between when the office is going to allow me. So here I would like to say time factor is important. I have to have the break, but when? I can't have break anytime. I can't flying rocket or start playing airplane or something like that. Start taking the stick and start playing the game. That won't happen because everything has to be on time. So that is what I feel. When it's a time to work, the second. When it's a time to have fun, the first one. Time factor is going to be
So
important
you
for me.
say, according to you, as per the situation, you will choose the environment, right? This is what you mean to say. But prominently, if it has to be a fixed environment, which environment would you choose? You said second. prominently, right? Okay, others? Let us also read. And sir has mentioned that you can now unmute yourself and speak, whoever feels like. And in
Um,
my session, guys, please comfortable to unmute. I will just take
Hello,
a
ma'am.
minute to read. Yeah, just I'll take a minute to read the responses. Second, because everything is organized in good work environment. That is by Dr. Vinita. Miss Forum is second because they are complementing one another. Lakshmi Pawar, well, communication and power of unity is turned into success. MVK, working in organized environment is better in all respect. That's Dr. MVK. And Jyoti Chaudhary, again second because of teamwork. Okay. Yes.
Ma'am,
Yes.
it's Omkar here. I would choose second. Now, first of all, I would like to remind that you had told us a one that it's like a one short story or not a story but incidents like वो जा रहा है तो हम लोग उसके साथ क्यों जाए, टाइम मैनेजमेंट नहीं रहता है, भागना पड़ता है। तो उसी तरह से क्या होगा कि अगर हम फर्स्ट सिचुएशन में जाए तो उसमें ज्यादातर टाइम हम लोगों ने फन किया है, ऑफिस को भी तोड़ फोड़, साथ में टाइम भी ज्यादा जाएगा, फिर लास्ट में भाग दौड़ करनी पड़ेगी। लेकिन यहाँ पे कैसे हो रहा है, वो लोग एंजॉय कर सकते हैं लेकिन उनकी फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटी क्या है कि वो जॉब पे मतलब फोकस करे। जब एक यूनिटी आती है तो जल्दी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व होते हैं और आइडियाज आते हैं, जिसकी वजह से मतलब तैयारी करने के लिए भी टाइम रहता है और जल्दी जल्दी में एग्जीक्यूट भी होता है, क्योंकि हमारे हम लोगों की उतनी वेल प्लानिंग रहती है। तो उसके हिसाब से जब प्लानिंग के साथ हो जाए सक्सेस, तो उसके बाद उनके पास टाइम ही टाइम रहता है ताकि वो एंजॉय भी कर सके। उनको कंपनी टाइम भी देती है क्योंकि उनकी फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटी के साथ उन्होंने किया है। लेकिन अगर देखें तो जो फर्स्ट स्लाइड है उसमें मतलब ज्यादातर भागने की चीज है, उसमें पहले मजा करो लेकिन बाद में सजा लो। सेकंड स्लाइड में ऐसा है कि पहले सजा लो लेकिन बाद में मजा लो। तो आई प्रेफर सेकंड बिकॉज ऑफ दिस।
Okay, that's great observation, Onka. Yes, Dr. Neetu, would you want to say something before we move ahead?
I would personally feel it's basically planning, organizing, coordinating, and controlling. So the basic functions of management, which has been rightly portrayed in the second slide. And I personally feel we need to prioritize the work. And at the same time, there's a huge brainstorming which is going on when it comes to the second slide. So that really has a great impact. Mostly the situation would go on that every organization, whether small, big, or a startup, would go on with the second slide rather than the first one.
Thank you, Dr. Neetu. That was very well said. Here, I would want all of you to have a look. And also, when we give you these situational clues, see, we also need to consider that we are into an elaborated program. This is almost 2 weeks program, 1 week now and 1 week we have already covered earlier. So this is supposed to be an amalgamation of everything. I really appreciate I really appreciate Mamta ma'am's output towards it because she saw the images which were very blurred. You know, a team. I would like to give a gist to you over here that a team is working for all the facets of development. Okay, be it time management, be it planning, be it brainstorming, and also you can see they are sitting together, unity. We have been talking about it, you know, reduce your differences, clear communication. ये सब हम assertiveness, चाहे उसके फेस पर कितना भी क्या भी एक्सप्रेशन है, बट सब एक साथ हैं। जब हम एक प्रॉपर वर्क एनवायरनमेंट की बात करते हैं, तो यू ऑल rather than looking at who is standing, who is sitting, the importance is all of them are doing same activity, are focused, that Omkar said focused approach is there. So this is very evident in the second one. Now when we talk about the first one, everyone is doing something else. So will you get the targeted result? We have spoken about smart goals, guys. We have spoken about specific, measurable, goal driven, अचीवेबल, टाइम बाउंड गोल्स. अगर हम सब ऐसे ही करेंगे, एक बंदा काम कर रहा है बाकी खेल रहे हैं, विल यू गेट द रिजल्ट? नाउ यहाँ पर if I put you in the shoes of the lady in green, how are you going to feel? You are working endlessly, tirelessly, doing the entire work, and the rest of the team is celebrating and playing. How would you feel? So when we talk about positive work environment, we definitely don't talk about, the layout, or of course it is included in it, but when I'm talking about the employee part of it, किसी को शायद चल चल के ideas आते हैं, किसी को बैठ के आते हैं, एंड जनरली व्हेन आई यूजुअली राइट इन माय गार्डन. तो उसके अलावा मुझे ना, व्हेन आई सिट फॉर राइटिंग, आई राइट अ फ्यू बुक्स एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट. आई कैन नॉट, इफ यू गिव मी अ नाइस टेबल एंड अ चेयर, आई हैव ट्राइड डूइंग दैट, मुझे वो आइडियाज ही नहीं आती. आई गेट इट ओनली ऑन टेरेस और गार्डन. तो वो हर किसी का अलग है. द वे ऑफ वर्किंग, द वे ऑफ फंक्शनिंग माइट बी डिफरेंट फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू. बट व्हाट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट इज फोकस्ड अप्रोच. वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट अ ग्रेट बॉन्डिंग, अ क्लियर टीम जो हम कहते हैं ना. तो जब आप कहते हो कि एनवायरमेंट ये होना चाहिए, देयर आर मेनी, इफ विल गो थ्रू द स्लाइड्स इन द फ्यूचर, you will see there are many aspects that a company should provide for an employee. But will it make sense if I talk about that to you now? Because आप तो नहीं खड़ा कर रहे हैं, हम तो कहीं पर काम ही कर रहे हैं. तो हम क्या कर सकते हैं? My PPT is more about what you can do in this scenario where the work environment can be A or can be B. Okay, it can be either of it. कभी कभी आपके कलीग्स खुद का ही काम करेंगे, कभी वो आपके साथ बैठेंगे. और जैसे प्रेम सर ने कहा कि सिचुएशन पे बेस्ड होता है, कभी ऐसा भी होता है, कभी वैसा भी होता है. बट आपका आउटलुक कैसा होना चाहिए ऐसे एनवायरनमेंट को पॉजिटिव करने के लिए? दैट इज व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू डिस्कस इन टुडेस पीपीटी. सो नाउ द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड दैट आई हैव, आई नीड 2 people to volunteer. We will have just 1 minute का role play, not more than that. So I need 2 people to volunteer. I'll send you a direct message and you have to speak. And we can ask sir to stop the slide for that time. But I need 2 volunteers. Guys, who is going to volunteer? एक ऑफिस के 2 एम्प्लॉइज. बाकियों को गेस करना है कि आप किसके साथ हो. आपको सिचुएशन बताया नहीं जाएगा, आपको उनकी बातों से समझना है कि क्या हो रहा है. चलिए, आई नीड 2 volunteers. ममता मैम, विल यू वॉलंटियर? डॉक्टर नीतू, विल यू वॉलंटियर? Yes, thank you. Neetu
जी
ma'am,
मैम.
will you also
Yes.
volunteer? Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Sir, can I request you to stop the slideshow so that we can see the participants? Mamta ma'am and Neetu ma'am, मैं आपको एक सिचुएशन भेज रही हूँ. आप दोनों को आपस में कॉन्वर्जेशन करना है. ओके? आपको
Okay.
1 मिनट का हम टाइम लगाएंगे. आपको उसी फ्लो में कॉन्वर्जेशन एक दूसरे के साथ करना है. सर, यू कैन स्पॉटलाइट डॉक्टर नीतू एंड ममता मैम. Until they read the situation, I will give other participants the guidelines. Okay, what you're supposed to do. Just give me a minute. और थोड़ा सा जोश के साथ. हाँ,
बस रूम में जाओ. चुप रहना, मुझे बोलना है ना.
Neetu ma'am, I have sent you the message. Have you got it?
It is
Please
wait,
take a minute. Take a minute to read that. Till the time I drop Mamta ma'am also the message.
ma'am. Where have you dropped the message, ma'am? I'm
In the
not able
chat
to.
box, ma'am.
Okay,
By name Geet, you would have got.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I got it, ma'am.
Okay, Mamta ma'am, have you received the message?
No, ma'am, not yet.
Please check your direct message in the chat box. By the name Geet, I would have sent it to you. Yeah.
शो नहीं हो रहा है. शो नहीं हो रहा.
Mamta Saraswat is a different person, or what?
Where?
Okay, I'm sorry. I
Rajput
sent it to someone
Mamta
else.
Rajput is there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I sent it to someone else. Please now check, Mamta ma'am.
Okay, हाँ आ गया.
Okay, take a minute to read it. Okay, guys. So now there are 2 participants, Miss Neetu and Miss Mamta. First, a big round of applause. Please, I want you to either through your expressions or however, please clap for them. They are volunteering to be a part of it. Thank you, ma'am. We respect that. So now they are going to have a conversation. What I want you to do is we will give them 1 minute to have a conversation. They both will put forward their point. वो अपनी अपनी बात रखेंगे. आप कोई भी भाषा में रख सकते हैं, हिंदी में, इंग्लिश में, जो आपको कंफर्टेबल हो आप ऐसे करिए, कोई चिंता की बात नहीं है. एंड आपको ऑब्जर्व करना है और आपको एंड ऑफ 1 मिनट ये बताना है कि आप किसके साइड हो, नीतू मैम के साइड हो कि ममता मैम के साइड हो. ठीक है? All set? Are we ready?
I need
Yes?
to give the same situation to her.
No. So you are in that situation and the party that is impacting you is Mamta.
Okay.
ठीक है ममता मैम, आपको समझ गया?
जी 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 मैम.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it clear? Can we start? Okay. दोनों एक ही ऑफिस में काम करते हैं. ठीक है. नीतू मैम को कुछ रिपोर्ट्स चाहिए जो ममता मैम से आने हैं. ममता मैम ने एज यूजुअल टाइम पे नहीं दिया. नीतू मैम को बहुत गालियां पड़ी है. अब वो दोनों आपस में कॉन्वर्सेशन कर रहे हैं. लेट्स सी व्हाट हैपेंस. यस नीतू मैम, ममता मैम, आई एम पुटिंग ऑन द टाइमर. वी हैव एग्जैक्टली 1 minute. प्लीज स्टार्ट.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, since you have not sent the report, I had faced a difficulty. Having said so, please let's have a timeline set so that even I can follow the same timeline. At the same time, you can follow and you can ensure even your subordinates and everybody follows it. Since time is constant, we need to since that is constant, we need to be well planned for it. So I hope you understand. For today, we cannot revert the situation, but for tomorrow, we can change it. So I feel you can very easily help me out. Let's fix the time for it and then take it forward. If you have any difficulties, let's take the help of few of our teammates also. In such a scenario, you can also take the help of them.
ममता मैम इतना नहीं सुनना है, वो आपको डांट
Okay.
रही हैं. वो आपको डांट रहे हैं.
नीतू मैम मेरे
आपको
नीतू मैम
knowledge
मेरे
है
पास
सुनने.
स्टाफ की बहुत कमी है. आपने देखा तो है. आपने देखा तो है मेरे पास स्टाफ ही कितना है. और आप ये सोचिए टाइम पे सारी चीजें आ जाए बहुत मुश्किल होता है. मैं अपनी तरफ से पूरी कोशिश कर रही हूँ.
Always there are limited resources ही है मैम हमारे पास. वो limited resources में ही हमको अपना बेस्ट कर दिखाना है मैम. नहीं तो दूसरी टीम को दूसरे वेस्ट जोन, दूसरे जोन्स के टीम्स बहुत अच्छा कर पाएंगे. सो हम सबको
लेकिन मैम
अपना बेस्ट
उनके
देना
टीम
है. नहीं
मेंबर्स
तो
को
हमारा
देखिए.
टीम कम्प्लीटली आपकी वजह से हार जाएगा.
मैम उनके टीम मेंबर्स तो देखिए हमारे कितने स्लो हो रखे हैं. या तो फिर मुझे लगता है लीडरशिप की कहीं कमी है. कुछ तो है ना गड़बड़. और मैंने तो कहा मेरा तो नहीं
मैम. आई एम
फिर
नॉट
भी
गेटिंग
बहुत
द
मैंने अपनी तरफ से बहुत ट्राई किया
रिपोर्ट. आप
मैम.
प्रॉब्लम को भी समझिए ना मैम. वहाँ पे एक ही
मैं
प्रॉब्लम है.
समझ पा
आप
रही
मुझे
हूँ. मैंने
टाइम
अपनी
पे
तरफ से तो
रिपोर्ट नहीं
बहुत किया
भेज
ना.
पा रहे हैं.
यस मैम आई एग्री बट मेरे से नहीं हो पाया मैम. मैंने अपनी तरफ से बहुत कोशिश की लेकिन आगे मैं
मुझे टाइम पे बता
कोशिश
दीजिए मैम,
करूंगी.
so that we can assign somebody else. आपको कुछ आई एम नॉट
मैम
सेइंग
मैंने
there are
आपको हिंट तो
situations
दिया
which are
था कि मेरे
favorable
पास
or
स्टाफ की
unfavorable.
कमी है. मैं टाइम पे नहीं कर पा रही हूँ. इसके लिए मैं सॉरी बोल रही हूँ. लेकिन मैं क्या
मैम
करूँ. मैं
हमारा
खुद
सॉरी
बहुत
से नहीं
परेशान,
चलेगा ना.
बहुत स्ट्रेस हो
सॉरी
जाता
से
है.
तो हमारा नहीं चलेगा. लेट्स फाइंड अ सॉल्यूशन. आप ही मुझे बोलिए क्या क्या सॉल्यूशंस आप मुझे दे सकते हैं जो बेस्ट हम दोनों को सूट होता है. लेट्स टेक इट फॉरवर्ड सो दैट आवर टीम डजंट लूज ऑन इट.
मैम कुछ चीजें ऐसी है कि आप उसमें से मेरे से ले सकती हैं या टीम मेंबर्स को आप बोल सकते हैं. मुझे तो समझ ही नहीं आ रहा मैं क्या करूँ.
मैम
Okay guys, time up. Well tried. Good job. Okay. चलिए आप सब. ममता मैम, कोई इतना डांटेगा आप उसको छोड़ देंगे. ऐसा नहीं करना है. ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं
मैं
करना है.
करती हूँ.
ऐसा बिल्कुल. वो बोलते जा रहे हैं उनका सिचुएशन आज सबको पता है. आपने क्यों काम नहीं किया ये किसी को नहीं पता. अब आप 1 मिनट लेके सबको बता दो. नहीं तो वो लोग आपके साइड पे नहीं लेंगे. फिर आपका साइड नहीं लेने वाले हैं. तो आप 1 सेकंड लेकर बता दीजिए कि आपने काम क्यों नहीं किया टाइम पर. क्यों नीतू मैम इतना चिढ़ गई आपके ऊपर.
मेरे टीम मेंबर्स बहुत स्लो थे. सिर्फ मैंने ही किया है जितना किया है. उन लोगों ने तो बस वो तो मस्ती में ही रहे. जैसे कि आपने फर्स्ट स्लाइड में देखा. और मेरा जो हाल है वो सेकंड स्लाइड वाला था. तो मैंने ही जितना किया है वो किया. और नहीं तो मैम मुझ पर चढ़ गई है.
Ma'am, I would like to reframe the words of Mamta ma'am in different way because I want to show some different scenario for Mamta ma'am if I am allowed to.
नीतू मैम आप डिफेंस
तो
के लिए रेडी हैं. अभी आपके पास प्रेम गुप्ता सर हैं. उनको मैंने सिनेरियो दिया नहीं बट ही हैज अज्यूम एंड ही इज हियर टू फाइट विद यू. रेडी?
मैम ने खत्म कर लिया है अपना और मैं बोल रहा हूँ इन प्लेस ऑफ ममता मैम, ममता राजपूत की जगह पर. I'm very sorry, ma'am. I was not able to complete my task. The reason for that was lack of communication because of the infrastructure failure. At the last moment, there was a technical failure from the
All the
internet
others
side.
are able to do
Because
it,
of
sir.
which there was
The
lack
same
of
situation,
communication.
same infrastructure and same things are being provided to others also. When they are able to complete it, why not you?
I don't have the reply for that, man, because the technical failure, we can't say. Your technical team, you can ask them why there was a failure in our department. You can, ma'am, find out the for that
Sir,
right
others
now,
are
because
finding
right
ways
now,
to complete it. We should be prepared for the worst scenarios also. That shows our good. That shows
ma'am,
how
the
good
technical
we can
department
have
is
to
there with
be.
you, ma'am. Technical department is there with you, not with me. I am the
Okay,
senior. I am
okay,
the junior,
okay.
man.
Available
Okay,
I
to
am
us.
time
junior.
up, time up, time up. We are not in office, guys.
Excuse
But
me,
well
ma'am.
played, all of you. Well played. Please put a big round of applause for everyone. Neetu ma'am, you are on fire today.
Um,
Not allowing anyone to speak.
excuse
But
me,
good.
ma'am.
Yes, yes,
It's
Omkar.
Omkar here.
Yeah.
Just I would like to add one point over there. Like Mamta ma'am said, आपका भी तो नहीं हुआ है. मतलब like to Neetu ma'am, it's directly. Instead of that, she could said that sorry ma'am for that. Technical department was also having problems. So just for that, can you share your file with us so that we can get idea? So at that time, in front person who is there, now it might be boss, they will get the mistake understand or they will get understood. And that file we could share or we could do like in such a way, so they will also not get that, but also like we will feel that she should get it.
Okay, good one. Dr. Raghu, I missed you and your interaction in my last session as well. So welcome.
I'm extremely sorry. My wife fell down yesterday. She was hospitalized, and then
Oh, I
despite
hope
that,
everything is
yeah,
okay at your
now
end.
now it's able to walk. So in fact, I wanted to come to class, attend your class only. That's why I'm forced to come here, and I love to attend the class. That's why I come here. I missed so many things are there. Doesn't matter. I'll catch up later stage.
Yeah, I hope everything is well with you.
Yeah, everything's well.
Our prayers are with you at this
Yes.
difficult time.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you.
Okay,
I do
thank
not know the head and tail what you are going on this. Otherwise, I can participate from my side. I'm sorry for that. Please proceed. When
Yes,
the opportunity comes,
thank
I'll interact with you there. Thank you.
So first of all, I'm extremely happy with all of your observation. And Prem sir had tried to incorporate, all the things that we have learned during this training program. But guys, one thing I'll tell you, you will have bosses like Dr. Neetu who are not ready to listen to your point of view. ठीक है, ममता मैम is very polite and very gentle. और ऐसे हमारी personality types होते हैं. ठीक है, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि हम गलत हैं. तो हम जैसे जब हम बहुत सॉफ्ट होते हैं, when we are very soft spoken, when we are not assertive, the assertiveness skill that we learned the other day, तो ऐसा ही होगा. हमारे पास चाहे रीजन बहुत जेन्युइन हो, हमारे पास रीजन चाहे बहुत वैलिड हो, बट वो राइट तरीके से सामने वाले के पास पहुंचेगा नहीं. तो मैं ये नहीं कह रही हूँ कि डॉक्टर नीतू की कन्वर्सेशन कैसी थी, बट मैं ये कह रही हूँ कि वो वैसे ही आपको वर्क प्लेस पे सिचुएशंस मिलेंगे, एंड वी शुड नो हाउ टू टैकल दिस. Prem Gupta sir tried doing that, but Dr. Neetu was on fire. She was not ready to listen to anyone. So it happens. कई बार क्या होता है ना, हमारे जो colleagues होते हैं, they are in a different tangent or they are not in the mood to listen only. So you should know effective ways and means to put forward your point. And because यहाँ पे ममता मैम की और प्रेम गुप्ता सर की एक्चुअली कोई गलती नहीं थी. जो सिनेरियो मैंने इनके साथ शेयर किया था, the scenario stated that they were not able to complete the work on time because they don't have staff. Okay, and जितना भी complete करके चाहे last minute पे दिया है, उन्होंने खुद किया है. ठीक है, rather than getting the credit of working overtime and getting the work done, what are they getting? They are getting shouting, they are getting misunderstanding. So to avoid all of this, I will not be talking about how we can, offices को आपको break times provide करने चाहिए, अच्छा furniture provide करना चाहिए, hygiene provide करना चाहिए. I'm not going to talk about that. What I'm going to talk about is, if you have these kind of situation, how you as a whole can work together. So we will see a small video, 1 minute का video. क्योंकि हम बात कर रहे हैं पॉजिटिव वर्क एनवायरनमेंट की, तो हमें पता तो होना चाहिए पॉजिटिव वर्क एनवायरनमेंट है क्या. So I request sir, if you can play the YouTube video. It's 1 minute video before we go ahead with our slides. Sir, can you please play the video? Till that time, if you have any introspections, till sir is playing, feel free to unmute yourself and share. Okay, thank you, Ravindra sir. Thank you, Dr. Rajesh.
What is the scenario exactly? If you could say just
Sorry, sir.
what is the scenario? Put it in a nutshell.
Okay, so
Anything else?
we did a role play, sir.
Do you
Okay.
enjoy going to
Okay,
work?
fine.
Sir, your screen, one second.
Maybe there are days.
Sir, the
Huh?
screen.
Yes.
Raghu sir, we did a role play.
Okay. Okay.
Where there were two parties. We'll just have a look at the video and then we can discuss.
Fine.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Do you enjoy going to work? Maybe there are days you dread. Or maybe there are chats you love and meetings you loathe. Or maybe it's the other way around. What is your perfect workplace? A positive workplace might have different details for everybody, but the result should be the same. An optimistic workforce with employees who feel empowered and enjoy coming to work. It means more collaboration, creativity, productivity, and profitability. The happier people are to be at work, the better customer service will be. The better the culture, the greater your company's reputation and recognition. Everybody wins in a positive workplace culture.
Practicing assertive skills and also clear communication. They were supposed to express their situations, but both of them, I think Dr. Neetu did a fabulous job, and Mamta ma'am and Prem Gupta sir tried their best, but Neetu ma'am was not able to listen to them. Okay, so
This is
now
a
we have
prevailing
now.
situation. Now this is a prevailing situation. It's nothing big to say like this. Why I'm telling is, manager may be very busy. He will take some time. Okay, I have not seen you there. I'll take some time and then I'll get back to you there. That's how that ends the matter. Instead of arguing, instead of argument never wins, agreement wins.
Yeah, this is one very important and very good point that Dr. Raghu has stated. Both were getting very defensive and argumentative. So, because of which the communication, ideally, it should have gone in a right channel, was blocked and it became an ego battle.
Ego battle.
So, it
Exactly
has to be
correct.
yes, it has to be a clear communication. And if you, at times, if you encounter person like Dr. Neetu who are not ready to listen, you can just state that, it looks like you're not in the right mood, or let's talk about this later, or I will drop you a mail regarding the same. If you feel the person is not in that zone to understand your situation at that point, rather than fighting and defending it out, you can
Exactly.
always use these techniques, because we have learned how to identify the behavior, how to identify this communication. Are they in that mood? How accepting they are. Everything you get to know it from their body language. So very good observation, Dr. Raghu. Irrespective of not being there, you have cracked the case.
No, I have come across this sort of a situation there. That's nothing. I will say, simply say, first admit it. I'm sorry. I'll get back to you there. I'll go through and come back to you the report after 10 minutes. That's all. That ends. I'm going to put a full stop for this. Instead of argument, why you are not seen there, why you are not allowed there. Yes, well, if it does, if not argue, then I say only one word. Please,
Okay,
let me come back to you there. Let me come back to you. I'll
yes,
go to report and come back to you.
that's the right approach. As you all remember, we had discussed, knowing what to speak when is the key. If you feel the person is not ready, and then please let the things be for that moment and then get back to them with your evidences. When we talk about professional ethics, evidence plays a vital role. Mamta ma'am, when you were trying to state that I don't have an employee with me, so if we have a document that states, see, I have written couple of mails and I am still struggling with my resources, and this is the time that I have been overtiming just for you to complete the report, probably the person would have been eager to hear your point of view. But without evidences, when we go and speak, they will rarely pay attention to what we want to say.
One
So
more
that is
thing,
also,
madam. One thing, madam.
yes,
Any organization, you will not be fully equipped.
yes,
Either manpower shortage will be there, resource shortage will be there, or some sort of shortage will be there. With the available resources, how you manage, that's only the best manager. Art of getting things done
things
by the
done.
available resources is most important thing, rather than grip about what is happened there, that is not there. If everything is there, we don't want you.
Right.
What is some sort of sound?
Sanjay sir,
Hello.
एक का ये कहना है भी मेरे सारा मैं ही करा दूंगा, ये है वो है.
yes. Who wanted?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
It's Shankar here.
Yes.
Ma'am, actually, what I think so is now Mamta ma'am was having like all the employee was having less resources, no employees with her, means the staff with her. So was this leader with fighting with Mamta ma'am or manager? Hello, hello, am I audible?
Ankar, Mr.
Yes,
Ankar, whether you're a manager or a leader, Ankar, are you able to listen?
yes,
Yes, now
sir.
I'm able to. Now I'm able.
Whether if you're a manager or a leader, don't grip about it. What is there, available resources, utilize the resources in optimum level and come out with the best result, then only you'll be recognized.
Yes, but what I want to say real is that now it might be team leader or the manager. They have qualities. It's their own company. They should help to the employees. They should try their best because it's not like that I will do myself and my company will go in loss. Because it's the duty of now it might be team leader or the manager. Their duty is the first that to help employees as well. If you're having time, give some resources by helping them. Now as if a manager post, the skills are being shared, like how you can help to employees. These all skills have been taken. So a manager shouldn't be say like I wouldn't help because of this, I don't know, you should do it. It's not, it doesn't matter, but how you help, it does matter. It also shows your personality, or it also shows it's not like that we will only work alone. They can
So,
also help
Ankar, but
us.
you're correct. But you're correct. But what Mamta ma'am said is the real situation. If she does not have a staff, she will say, you know. So what we are going to learn over here is, I understand that we should know how to manage, but also if that is the situation, that is the situation. She cannot sugarcoat it. Okay. So now what we are going to understand is, if we have these kind of situation, as we see in the picture given below, or as we see in the role play that we have seen right now, where you have a difficult boss or a difficult colleague, you know, you are not able to put forward your point. तब क्या करना है? क्योंकि ये तो बहुत अच्छे से हमें पता है कि ठीक है, ये होना चाहिए, क्लियर कम्युनिकेशन होना चाहिए, असर्टिवनेस होना चाहिए. ओके. So now we have all learned that, but was it able, were we able to use that in the right situation? अभी तो ये सिर्फ 1 मिनट का रोल प्ले था, यहाँ पर भी नहीं हुआ. One reason can be because we are not practicing it every day. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes ma'am, but
Yes, ma'am.
I think so your net is little bit lacking behind.
Very fine, audible. Please go ahead.
Quite audible, quite audible.
We are not able to do that is because we are not effectively using the skills that we have learned every day. You know, these skills, as we discussed earlier, we have to gradually encompass them in our personality. एक डे पे हम जाके assertive खड़े हो जाएंगे, you know, clear communication, time management. This is not one day process. It is a gradual process. You have to eventually adopt yourselves to it. So let us see if what we can do if we have difficult situations, difficult scenarios. Sir, I request you to go on the next slide, please. After the show time, we have already covered show time, sir. Please go to the slide after show time. Yeah, this also we have covered, sir. Next slide, please. So here is an appropriate situation. When we talk about no who wants change, everyone will raise their hands. And if you ask them who wants to change, nobody is eager to change. Here I'll give you a very short story. I really like it, and I'm sure most of you would have read about it somewhere or the other. So there was this painter who paints a beautiful picture, and he was so proud of the work that he has done that he wanted to display that on the street. So he just, you know, he was so proud about it that he has written, चलो किसी को कोई गलती मिलती है तो मुझे ढूंढ के बताओ. And वहां पर उसने वो पिक्चर सजा के रख दिया. And the people over there were like, you know, he was so surprised because he was so proud of the work that he has done. There were so many comments written, यहाँ पे ये बदलो, वहां पर वो बदलो, ये करो, वो करो. And he was so disheartened. He said, my picture, so good image that I have drawn, has been criticized. How is that possible? So while he was disheartened, he met a friend. His friend said, don't worry. यही पिक्चर को तुम कल लेके जाओ और वहां पर ये लिखो कि यहाँ पे आपको जो बदलना है प्लीज बदल के आ जाओ। सरप्राइजिंगली नो वन टच दैट पेंटिंग। सबने बोला जैसा है अच्छा है। तो देखिए वी ऑल वांट द चेंजेस, हाँ, लेकिन करने के लिए बोला ना तो मेरे से तो नहीं होगा, तू ही कर ले। तो मोस्टली ऐसा ही होता है। हम सबको अपने अपने वर्क प्लेसेस पे, आई एम श्योर मोस्ट ऑफ यू वुड बी वर्किंग और प्लानिंग टू वर्क समवेयर. So if I ask you, is there any change that you see in your organization, you would say yes. But are you ready to do the change? Are you ready to take up the challenge? The answer is usually no. So let us also understand, if we want the change, as Mahatma Gandhi ji has really said, be the change that you wish to see in the world. So the change begins with you. ठीक है, तो अब हम जो वर्क एनवायरनमेंट में करेंगे, इट इज ओनली विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू यू, व्हाट यू कैन डू to change the environment, because there will be difficult people, there will be unrealistic deadlines, there will be members who are missing, there will be members who are playing like we saw in the slide. So but how do I function? So that is the skill, that is where you use all the skills that we have taught you, and we go ahead. So I'll show you in the next slide how it is. So can we go to the next slide please? So next slide. So when we talk about culture, guys, if you have seen, culture is not about perks and parties. It is also, आपने ये देखा होगा जब ऑफिशियली कुछ नॉर्म होता है ना, कि आपका ड्रेस कोड ब्लेजर है, आपका ड्रेस कोड साड़ी है, देन इट बिकम्स अ नॉर्म. बट व्हेन यू से कल्चर, कल्चर इज द मिक्स बिलीफ जो हम सब प्रैक्टिस करते हैं, वो कहीं पे रिटन रूल नहीं है. ओके अगर एक एम्प्लॉय लेट आ रहा है तो सारे ही लोग लेट आने शुरू हो गए, एक क्लास में इनडिसिप्लिन है तो सारे ही बच्चे इनडिसिप्लिन हो गए, तो ये कहीं पे लिखा हुआ नहीं होता है, बट एक सेट ऑफ प्रैक्टिसेस हैं विच वी फॉलो. सो व्हाट इज ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कल्चर? ऑर्गेनाइज कल्चर वही होता है जो हम करते हैं. अगर हम एक दूसरे की बैक बाइटिंग करेंगे, अगर हम एक दूसरे को नीचे गिराएंगे, तो यही हमारे ऑफिस का कल्चर बनेगा. तो हम एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट मीन्स हैं to form the organization culture. So you should be the good change that we need in the organization culture. Can we go to the next slide, sir? So see, the culture is going, the culture will remain. So why not have a culture जो हमें चाहिए, rather than the culture जो दुनिया बना रही है. तो वहां पे कुछ लोग ऐसे होंगे ना जो सेल्फिश होंगे, कुछ लोग ऐसे होंगे जो मस्ती करते रहेंगे, जो आपने फर्स्ट स्लाइड में देखा है. तो व्हाई नॉट बी द कल्चर? जैसे बहुत सारे लोगों ने, आप लोगों ने लिखा कि यू लाइक सिचुएशन टू बिकॉज इट इज ऑर्गेनाइज्ड, दिस दैट. सो आर यू ऑर्गेनाइज्ड? आर वी ऑर्गेनाइज्ड? So first see, what you are is the culture of the office. So the culture begins with you. Why not make the culture that you want? Create a culture that. Yes, anyone who's wanting to say anything? Okay. So can we go to the next slide, please?
The creation of traits. Simple thing. All right.
Yeah. Yes,
Culture
sir.
Culture is the creation of traits. A lot of
Yes.
traits are there. A bundle of traits and also the collection of values, expectations, and it is formed by the founder of the organization generally. One company culture is formed by the founder of the organization. That will be followed. Maybe after change during the second generation, third generation, it may be changed. Okay, please.
Yeah. Also you practice certain beliefs which you almost take it forward together. So when we say positive work culture, it is a place where you feel happy, where you don't feel out of the place, where you don't wait for Saturdays and Sundays. You enjoy your work. So I take care of 3 or 4 schools. I look forward to meeting children. I look forward. I hate Sundays because that is the day when I'm not able to meet the children over in the school. So workplace should be a place which helps you create happy and satisfied employees, where you want to go there and you're not waiting for any vacations. Okay. Your work should be your motivation rather than a place where you dread to go. Sir, please, can we go to the next slide? So now what I'll do is, these slides I will cover very quickly, but the last slides we will talk in discussion, because we have already discussed all of this. A good workplace is a place which has open communication channels, as we discussed earlier also. You have to express your points of view very clearly, even if you might not get the chance, but still you need to do. So I will just speak one line before we go to the next slide. Yes, sir, next slide. Because we have already covered this. Yes, sir. Please, can we go to the next slide, please? Here na, I have a very nice beautiful example. Help me know if you can relate with that. No, the previous slide, sir. Opportunities for growth. How many of you have seen crabs in the sea market? Fish market में किसने crabs देखे हैं? आपने देखे हैं वहां पे crabs sell होते हैं? How many of you have seen? Just raise your hand if you have seen. No? उनके basket में crabs होते हैं. Okay. They have those crabs. One is climbing, other is pulling them down. Another is climbing, third person is pulling them down. That is what happens the entire time. Okay, there is no lid, there is no cover. All the crabs are always inside. Why? Because nobody is allowing other to go ahead in their life. So please don't become the crab. If you allow other people to grow, there might be opportunities which you would want to take but are not able to take because of XYZ reason. Allow that opportunity of growth to others. You know, that is how you grow in the life. Don't have a crab mindset कि मैं आगे नहीं जा रहा हूँ तो तुम भी आगे मत जाओ. तो इससे क्या होगा, सभी एक ही जगह पे रुक जाओगे और कुछ नहीं होने वाला. So let us not have the crab mentality and try to move ahead in the life by giving opportunities of growth to everyone. Yes, sir. Can we go to the next slide, please? So 84% of the employees agree that innovation is the workplace. एकदम rote learning मत करना. I'm recently visiting Zilla Parishad school teachers and I have also visited government offices. I'm not blaming anyone, but don't make your work a rote place जहाँ पर बस सुबह आओ, बस अपने काम खत्म करो और चले जाओ. अपने काम में innovation लाइए, अलग अलग चीजें करिए जिससे आपको वो लोग आपसे पूछेंगे, ideas लेने आएंगे. कई बार ऐसा होता है कि our innovation also creates enemies for us. It can happen. It is possibility. Yes, Mamta ma'am, you want to share something? Yes, ma'am.
नो मैम, अभी सुन रही हूँ मैं सारी चीजें ना, बाद में बताऊँ.
अच्छा, ओके, मुझे लगा आपको कुछ कहना है. ओके, नो वरीज. तो अपने काम में क्रिएटिविटी लाइए. आपके काम अलग होगा, क्रिएटिव होगा, तभी ही वो अच्छा होगा. Just give me 1 second, guys. Just 1 second. Give me a minute. Yeah. Okay. So what elements are most important for the work environment? Again, this is what we have covered, but I'll be taking 1 minute only. My more emphasis will be on the last slides where we discuss about how to deal with the challenging situations. So can we go to the next slide? A positive work environment makes employees feel comfortable and driven. When we say comfortable, आप first slide देखिए, किसी को खड़े रह के काम करना है, किसी को बैठ के करना है. I have personally seen offices where and there are employee rest places. They literally lie down and they then take that time out to think and come back. So आजकल with this new changing working scenario, everything is possible. Important is your comfort level and what a comfortable work environment is. I'll give you an example of that also. So go to the next slide, please. So you have a comfortable workplace. When we say comfortable workplace, किसी को धूप से प्रॉब्लम है, किसी को वॉशरूम के बाजू में केबिन नहीं चाहिए, किसी को कैफेटेरिया के सामने नहीं चाहिए, किसी को बाहर विजन देख के करना है. तो आपको जो कंफर्टेबल वर्कप्लेस है वो वहां पे होना चाहिए. एडुकेट ब्रेक्स आपको मिलने चाहिए. यस सर, नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. Break facilities, as I said, you should get appropriate break. Why I have mentioned this here is also because I have seen there are few extremely dedicated employees. ब्रेक में भी बैठ के काम कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, मुझे अपना काम पूरा करना है, तो वो मत करिए. ब्रेक में स्ट्रेच कर लीजिए, कॉफी ले लीजिए. और कॉफी भी लेते हुए मैंने लोगों को देखा है वो अकेले एक कोने में जाके बैठेंगे, मैं तो किसी से नहीं बोलूंगा. तो जब ये ब्रेक का कंसेप्ट बना था, द ब्रेक कंसेप्ट इज मेड बिकॉज यू बिकम कंफर्टेबल विद योर एम्प्लॉइज और योर कलीग. ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि अरे उसने तो मेरे से बात नहीं किया, मैं क्यों करूं. Let bygones be bygones, because if you have to survive in a situation, it is very important that you build bonds. We were again and again talking about it. If you are living in the same space, it is very important. You cannot say I am right, you are wrong. So never do that. So next slide, please. Optimize layout. आपको जो भी सिचुएशन दी है, प्लीज प्रैक्टिसिंग decluttering. एक ही जगह पे सब डंप करके रख के हम अगर अपने एम्प्लॉय को बताएंगे कि देखो देखो मुझे कितना काम है, nobody is going to be happy. Okay, what they will feel is सामने वाला लेजी है, काम नहीं कर रहा. So don't give them that feeling at all. Declutter it. Whatever place they have given you, छोटा टेबल बड़ा टेबल जितना भी दिया है उसको बहुत ऑप्टिमाइज तरीके से यूज करिए, इफेक्टिव यूज करिए. Yes sir. Next slide. Okay, now why positive work environment is important? This is extremely important and a very important point. Okay, anyone wants to give me an idea? Sir, you already scrolled it to the next slide before me asking them a question. चलो ठीक है, ये slide के अलावा कोई points हैं आपके पास? Sir, you can go to the next slide. Tell me why do you think इतना सब कुछ discussion हमने कर लिया? आप ज्यादा productive होते हो, आप efficient होते हो, creative होते हो, आपका कंटेंट भी अच्छा बनता है. इसके अलावा आपको क्या रीजन हो सकता है? एक पॉजिटिव वर्क एनवायरनमेंट क्यों चाहिए आपको? डॉक्टर हरेंद्र, आई एम सीइंग यू फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम. थैंक यू फॉर switching on your video. Any inputs? Why do we need positive work environment, guys? Yes, Onkar, you can speak.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, it is like more. We do not have a stress. We free feel because of this positiveness. We get a creative mind as we feel like a better what we want. We doesn't make professional life and personal life together. We differentiate it so that we
Yes,
can enjoy as well as our personal life as well as professional life.
good one. So what Onkar said is आप stress free रहोगे. And I will also read the messages in the chat box. It will create a happy environment and do work effectively. Good. You feel comfortable. Honesty in employees. Yes. Creativity is a problem solving by finding solution. Yes. So that they can work conveniently. Okay, great. Nobody wrote that if you have positive work environment, आपका काम time पे खत्म होगा. आपके relationships improve होंगे. आपके relationships improve होंगे तो आपके promotion के chances ज्यादा हैं. झगड़े कम होंगे तो promotion अच्छा होगा. So these are few things which will help you to improve your positive work environment. Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, positive work environment needed. Okay, George, I will just take a minute to read the messages. Dr. MVK states that break should not be only during working hours, but year-end comfortable periods. Yes, I completely agree to that. Positive environment, Dr. Rajesh Sharma writes that positive environment needed because to ensure optimum utilization of resources, quality output, correct, great satisfaction. Jyoti has written job satisfaction. Amritam has written a great observation. It reduces absenteeism. I completely resonate with that. If your environment is positive, and even not only absenteeism, your employee retention, जितना हम खर्चा करते हैं ना employee retention में, it reduces drastically because your employee turnover will be less, people leaving the job will be less, and employee safety attainment goal. Yes, Dr. Raghu, that's true. Do you want to say something? You have raised your hand, sir. Okay, I'm unmuting you. Please share your views.
Positive environment ensures employees and also the first safety part of it. When the safety is good, their productivity will be increased therefore from their side for the growth of the organization. And thereby the goals achieved, the organization goals or corporate objectives will be achieved very easily. Employee feel relaxed and productivity will be increased there. So environment also plays a vital role for the growth of the organization, also for the growth of the individuals also.
Yes, that's true. That's true. See, हम कहते हैं कि we always say ना कि मैं तो किसी भी situation पे काम कर लेता हूँ. I'm a superman. So guys, हम लोग कोई यशराज मूवी के कोई हीरो नहीं है, कोई हीरोइन नहीं है. Please don't act like that. Understand how much pressure you can take, how much you cannot take, and accordingly take your decisions forward. जितना ले सकते हो उसी का commitment करो, और जिसका commitment करते हो उतना ही टाइम बाउंड पे अचीव करके दे दीजिए. बिल्कुल भी उसको एक्सटेंड मत करिए. नोबडी इज गोइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड why your reports are late. Okay, if you expect them to have sympathy for you or have some feelings for you, that is not going to happen. So rather put your point forward in a very professional manner with evidences to support your reasons for delay. That is what I can say. So what can we do to build good work relationship and make work enjoyable and productive? Let us see in the next slide.
One more thing also, the pressure make or break. It depends upon the individual.
Yes.
The work pressure is more, the work pressure is there. Probably he'll be attuned to the situation, and then he'll be going for the upper level of the organization. That depends upon the individual and situation is the boss.
Yes, I agree. And also, how many of you have read about flight and flight situation? There are two type of personalities. If you encounter with any problem, either you will fight it or you will flee the situation. मुझे इसमें पढ़ना ही नहीं है, तुम वो जो करना है कर लो, मैं तो जॉब ही छोड़ देता हूँ. So don't do that. Find a middle way out. There is a solution to everything. Even impossible says I am possible. I strongly believe in this. Even impossible says I am possible. So please find a way out. If you're not finding the solution, probably you're not looking it in the right direction. That is all I can say, because solution is there.
In addition to this, what you say, problems are the solutions in the form of disguise. We see the
Yes.
problem from the two eyes only. There's a third dimension. You should look at the third dimensions. Probably can solve many problems. We stuck with the
Yes.
two dimensions only. From two eyes only, look into it for this. This is what
Yes.
I have practiced and also solved many problems in the organization. Okay.
I agree. I agree. जब तक problem नहीं होता, इतने सारे inventions नहीं होते. There will be no discoveries. There will be no inventions. So they are blessings in disguise, and I completely agree with that. Yes, Onkar, any views that you want to share? Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I want to share like crabs are not that much like crabs are when they bite we feel like much more hurtful. But like some people sir, मैंने बड़ी चप्पल पहनी है मुझे काटा ही नहीं लगेगा. क्रैब को तो छोड़ो उनको ऐसा लगता है उनको इतना घमंड रहता है कि मतलब काटा ही नहीं चुभेगा हमें. और जब चुभता है ना तब मतलब उनको ऐसे हर्ट फीलिंग होता है. उससे भी ज्यादा कि ऐसे ही लोग अगर हम लोग तो उन्हें मतलब कुछ समझ आता है कि ज्यादा घमंड नहीं करना चाहिए वगैरह. तो वैसे ही क्या होता है अगर फुल्ली पॉजिटिव रहा, कोई कुछ नहीं किसी के बीच में नहीं आया, तो मतलब कैसे चलता रहता है कि चलता रहेगा, अच्छा है, ठीक है, नॉर्मली तक रहेगा. लेकिन जब उनको उसी के साथ घमंड भी आता है और साथ साथ सारे एम्प्लॉयज को आता है और साथ में बॉस को भी आ सकता है, तो जब तक कोई वैसा मतलब उस तरह का काटा नहीं रहेगा, एक भी ना हो, कम से कम एक तो होना ही चाहिए. अगर काटा नहीं है तो हम लोग कुछ समझ भी नहीं पाते हैं. हाँ, लेकिन
Okay.
इसके लिए हमें ये भी देखना है कि हम लोग उस कांटे की तरह ना बन जाए.
नहीं, पर हमें ये भी देखना है कि क्या हम वो कांटे लेने के लिए रेडी हैं. See guys, if you just listen to all the webinars, that is not going to help you. You need to incorporate. Okay, we can read 10,000 books, but what is the use if I am not able to utilize that in my day-to-day life? So you also need to understand what you can take and what you cannot take. On this note, we will go on the next slide because I would not want to extend your time more. Yes, sir. Can we go on the next slide, please? So this is a very interesting observation by Gallup organization. What they have found is people who have one good friend. आप लोगों के पास कोई है गुड फ्रेंड ऑफिस में? मेरे को तो आज तक कोई दिखता ही नहीं है. वी जस्ट को एग्जिस्ट. ओके, काम है इसीलिए एक साथ है. आपको है ममता मैम? आई एम सो ग्लैड टू नो दैट. Shejmon sir, you're smiling. Do you have good friends at your office? Okay, you have. I already see, like, I see a lot of competition over there. I at times see good friends becoming worst enemies because one of the opportunities given to someone else and not to them. So that also happens. So Gallup has found that if you have even one good friend at the office, you will be more happy and you will have good work relationship. Even there are many surveys that resonate with this fact. So can we go on the next slide, please? So the first thing is identify your relationship needs. What do you expect from others? Are you expecting understanding? हम कई बार बोलते हैं ना, जैसे ममता मैम ने उनको काफी बार कहा, 3-4 बार कहा, मैम आप समझते क्यों नहीं, मैम आप समझते क्यों नहीं. तो नीतू मैम एक बार कह रही थी, मैं तुम्हें समझने के लिए नहीं बैठी हूँ, मैं काम करने के लिए बैठी. So what are you expecting from them? Are you expecting understanding? Because see, this is not a family. This is not your friend. This is the workplace environment. So you need to understand that he will expect, or the सामने वाला person is only going to take a technical reply from you. Okay, my server is down. Okay, my employees are not there. If you start on this note, probably that person would have heard you. But if you say मेरा सुनो, आप समझते क्यों नहीं, तो वो एक सेंटर मेरे जैसा होता ना कोई, तो बोलेगा मैं समझने के लिए नहीं बैठी, आप अपने घर पे समझाइए. तो ये तरीका होता है कि आप अपनी पॉइंट को आगे कैसे रखते हैं. अगेन ममता मैम, मैं ये नहीं कह रही हूँ आपने गलत कहा, मैं आपको बता रही हूँ कि अगर आपकी पॉइंट को सामने वाले के पास रखना है तो हमें किस तरीके से रखना है. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, डोंट एक्सपेक्ट देम दैट दे आर गोइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड यू. Okay, understand your relationship with them. Is he your boss? Is he your subordinate? Is he your colleague? How exactly is the relationship? And according to that, agar Neeta ma'am was taking the role of a boss, she was exactly playing like that, she will not listen. So develop your people skill, convey exactly what you want and how you want. Okay, so next slide please. Focus on your emotional intelligence in the first part of this seminar or webinar or training program. I had taken sessions on emotional intelligence. So for you to connect better with people, your emotional intelligence needs to be high. And again, emotional intelligence can be learned just like assertiveness is. So please focus on your emotional intelligence and try to encompass the ways which will help you to succeed ahead in your life. Practice mindful listening. अब इसमें मैं डॉक्टर नीतू का एग्जाम्पल देने वाली हूँ. Was she listening to what Mamta ma'am was saying? No. She was just waiting कि मैं bombard करूं. So when you listen correctly, listen to complete intention of what the person is trying to tell you, and then take that thing forward. Yes, sir. Next slide, please. Schedule time. We discussed about this in the first meeting, and also the first slide, that you have to bring time into everything. हमारे पास unlimited days नहीं है. So schedule your time. स्पेशली ब्रेक टाइम्स में आप अपने टाइम निकालिए, अपने रिलेशनशिप्स बिल्ड करिए, क्योंकि बाकी टाइम पे वी आर कंप्लीटली बम्बार्डेड विद वर्क. एंड मैनेज योर बाउंड्रीज. किसी को कुछ नहीं पसंद है, पर्सनल लाइफ के बारे में क्वेश्चंस नहीं पसंद है, किसी को कमेंटिंग ऑन देयर फिजिक, they don't like it, so maintain their boundaries. Whatever they don't like it, just don't go that area. And also talk about common shared areas, like you can talk about hobbies, food, common goals. That is okay, but don't cross the boundaries while you interact with them about their family members. You're talking to them about, अरे तूने weight put on कर लिया, तुमने weight कम कर लिया. These are not healthy conversations. You should avoid having that unless and until you have a great rapport with that person. Please don't cross those boundaries. That is all I would want to say. So next slide. And today I'm trying to complete my entire PPT because sir is saying, Jaya ma'am, तुम अपनी PPT complete ही नहीं करती हो. So I'm showing you my entire PPT this time. Appreciate, though I'll take one minute. So appreciate others. It takes, very rarely. I have this habit of this. हम लोग बच्चों को सिखाते हैं ना magic words. I say a lot, thank you, welcome, sorry. But people come and tell me, ma'am, are you air hostess? इतना ज्यादा तो कोई और नहीं बोलता. So मतलब इतनी common सी चीज है, but people don't use that. These are magical words. Give recognition, give appreciation. You will get the same in return. It takes hardly a minute, but do take a time to compliment each other. It makes somebody's day. And let us be that generous heart. Let's be positive also, and let's look forward to learn from each other. Yes, sir. Next slide. Avoid gossiping. As I said, don't get into the personal space. Never talk about what people are saying about them. One common thing that I have observed is, अरे आपको पता है इसने आपके लिए ये कहा. Don't do that. Don't do that. What will happen is ultimately it will spoil the culture that you are into. So avoid gossiping. That is from my end. I have 3 more points. Sir, if you can show us the next slide. So if you have a difficult boss with you, I will again say that in one line, because we have already covered all of that in our role play. You should reflect on your positive history. उस इंसान की वजह से आपका कुछ ना कुछ काम अच्छा हुआ होगा, क्योंकि आपने इतना टाइम साथ में काम किया, तो वो याद रखिए. कई बार क्या होता है ना, एक बैड इंसिडेंट्स की वजह से हम बहुत सारा पास्ट का अच्छा काम भूल जाते हैं. So please reflect on your positive history. Whatever good that person has done to you, remember that. And then उसी को लेकर आप अपने लाइफ में और अपने वर्क प्लेस में आगे बढ़िए. So next slide. Look to yourself. If we talk about negative about someone else, हमारे अंदर भी कुछ नेगेटिविटी है, तो आपको ये भी देखना है कि अगर मैं उसकी नेगेटिविटी के लिए बोल रहा हूँ, तो अगर वो भी मेरे ऊपर चैनलाइज हो गया तो कैसा होगा. So don't do that. Maintain a equibalence. Both of you should have common balance. आप अगर किसी के लिए नेगेटिव बोल रहे हैं, that negative can be channelized back to you also in this way or that way. Everything that you throw, Newton's third law of motion, if you remember, every action has equal and opposite reaction. So think wisely before you do that for others. And if you have no hope, बस अपना कंपनी का विजन को आगे रखिए और आगे बढ़िए. That is all from my side, and I'll give you 2 minutes to share your introspection about the session with me if possible. Here is my contact number and my mail ID. In case you feel the need to reach out to me for any time, you can please reach out to me. I am always available for you, and I look forward for your feedback. Yes, any introspection, anyone who wants to ask any question or any sharing, we are open to that. I will also drop my number and my email ID in the chat box for all of you. In case you feel like sharing your responses or feedback, do get back to me. Yes, sir.
Ma'am, Shajimon here from Pondicherry.
Yes, sir. Yes. How are
It was
you?
lovely. It was lovely. Great, ma'am. Great. So I always believe instead of थोड़ा हमारा जैसे बूढ़े लोग सुनने से अच्छा है कि छोटे छोटे बच्चे लोग ये सुने. क्योंकि उन लोगों को इसकी बहुत जरूरत है. Like really wanted. I always tell to my wife is happened to be a teacher and I am also a professor. This a complete department with professionals working on it. We have social science, we have physics, chemistry, mathematics, and everything. And soon after completing mathematics, we forget. After that, we just only fingers and calculators. Okay, this is what what we really need it for our life. Monitoring our life, and all these things works a lot in children in developing their attitude and the so-called persistence and everything, all the words which you have coined. So I really appreciate those things. हम लोग सच्ची में बोले तो मोदी जी को लिख देंगे कि एक डिपार्टमेंट खोलने के लिए.
I completely agree to you, sir. I completely agree to you, and thank you for taking time out to share your introspection with us. Here, I would want to bring your notice to our youngest participant, Onkar. He is the most active participant, and he
सुना बहुत सुना था, बीच में सुन रहा था, अच्छा लगा.
He's 12 years old, sir. He's 12 years.
Very good. I say another 10-15 years, आप जैसे बन जाएंगे.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I take that as a compliment. Thank you, sir.
सच्ची में